And good morning, everyone. Welcome into our special edition of the Student Athlete Awards program. We've got two programs today. Of course, we're dividing the schools up. First program, we'll have student athletes, male and female, from Miami Trace as well as Greenview. And then at 10:30 or so, we'll have Washington Courthouse and Fayette Christian School. Along with Nick Epifano, I'm Randy Young, your host of the program, and we're glad to have you with us here on this Saturday morning. Quite a busy winter
Freshly
sports
squeezed.
season. Oh, yeah, and got me some orange juice here. All right. Anyway, as I started to say, had quite a busy winter season.
Yeah, we've hardly been together. I've hardly seen you all winter.
I know.
I mean, this is probably the first time in
At least 3.
20-something. Well, yeah. There was a year during COVID and right after that where we had a few months where we didn't do anything.
Right.
But, with us being busy and everything that's been going on this year, it's just been it's been tough to try to put things together. We didn't broadcast any games. We
didn't.
That's the first time. I mean, we've just been so busy.
So anyway, we I think it was December. I can't remember when we did the fall sports.
Yeah.
It was after Thanksgiving, I
Yeah.
think. But anyway, we are back. We've got a couple shows.
Still around.
Yeah, we got a couple shows we're going to be doing over the next couple weeks. And it's going to be really quick because we're going to come back with Star of the Game shows here in the next couple weeks. Then as soon as that's done, we'll come right back a few weeks after that and wrap up the spring sports season.
Yeah, we're doing winter sports today, which I know kind of seems kind of funny, but
Yeah.
it feels kind of like winter still outside. If
Yeah.
you look,
So we're glad to have you with us on the program and hope you enjoyed. Try maybe review some memories from some of these young people and also talk a little bit about what their future plans are and so much more. A lot of things going on here at the Epifano McDonald's. I've heard chicken again is going to be
Yeah,
talking.
McCrispy strips, they're here.
Okay.
They're here. We really start advertising Monday, but we have them early. Very good. And then eventually there'll be some other spin-offs of the McCrispy strips that will be coming out. Rumor is maybe a future snack wrap.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but yeah, we got lots of things. First of all, I want to thank Randy for all his years of service doing our local sports and everything he does. I mean, everybody loves this man, including myself, and I'm just so happy that I can spend this time with him today, do this. We just celebrated in March our 25th year of being operators.
Is that right?
Yeah, owning the restaurants.
I knew it was getting close.
Yeah, so, and I can remember when I first came to this community, Randy was one of the first people, him and his wife Susie, that embraced me and became close friends back when he was still doing the radio station thing, and he'd come in and bring this big antenna in here.
The old famous Marty unit, the big old thing.
You couldn't touch it or you could get burned.
That's right, man.
So the kids, we had to make sure they didn't accidentally bump it.
Yes, do not touch the antenna.
Get electrocuted, but yeah, it's emerged, into the Epifano Sports Network on this side, and then everything he does with WCHC. And if you look at that and how that transpired, it's just God. It's how God works and put us in different positions, change things in our lives that we were able to kind of get to do these things. We always did this sports show and these student athlete awards, even when it was just sound back in the day, back in the old days,
right?
Like
right.
black and white.
That's right.
And we always had a passion for, really trying to celebrate the community, celebrate the young kids in our area, the students, the athletes, as well as the coaches and the school systems. And it's just a blessing that we've been able to do that and continue to do that. And when you come and patronize our McDonald's, you give us the opportunities to do these things. So we're grateful for that. We're grateful to have Randy here. And I think it's going to be a great show as always. Hopefully we don't get into any technical issues with me because I'm kind of doing double duties here. But hopefully that all works out and we have a nice show today and really get to celebrate these young youth in our community, hear what they're doing in their communities to help others, as well as not just sports and athletics and academics and those kind of things. But there's a lot more to this that we're just blessed to share that. And anytime I can spend time with this guy over here, I enjoy it. So.
Real quickly, just to review for you, in case you've maybe never tuned into the program or it's been a while and so forth, Nick has absolutely nothing to do with follows the selections, what we do is we send out nomination forms to all the coaches of that respective sports season. They're allowed to nominate up to 3 kids, and it can be anywhere from freshman to senior, okay? It's kind of, it's programmed a little bit like the Christmas Awards that the paper has done for 50-some years, but there's the seniors only. This one here, we open it up to the 4 schools that are touched by the Epifano McDonald's chain. And then what we do is we have an independent panel of judges, and we rotate them around.
I don't even know who they are.
Yeah, Nick has no idea who they are. But what we do is we have independent panel of judges. They go through the selections and stuff. Of course, we mask the name and stuff so that way they don't get looking at, I know that person. Yeah.
He's got the bat cave, he does the same.
That's right. And then they pick an overall winner. I know sometimes we've had a couple winners, co-winners and stuff, but a couple years ago we decided we want to get it nailed down just a little bit more, so that's why we have just a male and a female student athlete from each of the sports season, fall, winter, and of course spring will be coming up, and we'll probably do that program in June. But anyway, we will select from the schools, Washington, of course Miami Trace, Greenview, and Fayette Christian has nominations as well for the first 2 seasons because they have no spring sports. So we want to keep that in mind. Basically, it's based on activities in the school, how the kids, what subjects and stuff they study, how they do on their grades, academic endeavors, community involvement, very, very important, and also, of course, what they do on the ball field or the courts or whatever. So, or this
alleys,
one,
bowling alleys.
Bowling alleys, and this one we have wrestling mats.
Yeah.
So, Greenview's got two winners today, and they're both wrestlers. So, again, that's how we kind of judge it. And then we contacted the athletic directors, and they work through the school system, and then we try to get everybody here that we possibly can on a certain date and go with the show. So that's how it works. I'll probably explain it again during the 10:30 show, but I thought I'd get it out of the way so that way at least you know, well, how do those kids get picked? That's how it's picked. We try to keep everything away from Mr. Epifano so that way you don't have any influence and stuff. And to be honest with you, that's one of the things he probably would. He just says, just tell me who the kids are winning.
I find out when he sends me the
I'll send Nick a list and say, here's
make the plaques for it.
Here's your winners. He gets the plaques, and then we recognize the young people, which you'll see a picture of them here probably in the next couple of days, recognizing them with their plaques and so forth.
Okay. I want to thank the coaches, the athletes, and I want to especially thank the school systems also because we have a great rapport with all the superintendents, all the principals, all the school systems, in our area that we have restaurants, and that relationship I think is vital, and we treasure that and always want to work with them and help them with fundraising and other things that we can do, to give back to the community, and because you folks give so much to us by coming in the restaurants, we want to be able to do that and give back, and I appreciate the school systems working with us on all this, and it's been 20-some years we've been doing this.
Yeah.
I think we started a year or two after I got here.
Yeah, I think we'll be probably 25. We'll be probably next year. We'll have to sit down and do a little research into that.
We've had hundreds and hundreds of kids win this. So, some went on to pro athletics. Some, it's just been a great situation. And when you look back, we've had some great young folks. All of them have been great, really, that have went through and won these awards over the years. Some have been multiple awards, like Randy said. But yeah, it's just been a great thing. So.
All right, so we about ready?
Talk about McDonald's real quick?
Go right ahead.
I didn't get to do my plug, right?
Well, do your plug.
Well, we got the McCrispy strips, so come on out and try those. We know that, we don't think everything's where we want it to be from an economic standpoint. Money's still tight, so, we do have the $5 meals. That's been a big hit with our consumers and customers and patrons with that. So if you're looking for the deal, we got it. Just rolled out a new lemonade, and we have the frozen lemonade with our frozen carbonated beverages, but we also have a new lemonade drink. We were going to give him one, but he chose the orange juice to start.
So I'll drink lemonade at the next show or something.
Yeah, so we do have that. Krispy Kreme donuts. We got a lot of different things that are happening all the time. We continue to evolve on our ways to be able to take care of you as far as DoorDash and Uber and delivery and mobile ordering and all the different ways that you can take part in getting your orders to help speed up service or make it more convenient for you. We have all those options also. And then, we have, our McCafe line of drinks, hot and cold on there. So we have all those items. So we have quite a few things that are going on and continuing to go on, throughout the summer months. We're open to take care of you. We have the 24-hour restaurant at Leesburg Avenue, so the drive-thru's open there 24 hours. So if you're getting up, and you get people that just jump in their car in their pajamas and go through the drive-thru and hit us for that, and we're always there for them on that. And then one other thing we started doing is, we've had a lot of requests for some breakfast, more all day kind of thing. Well, it's really hard for us to do like we did before, where we had the full line of breakfast, but we do have a couple items that you can get, all the time now that we're open. You can get hot cakes every day, all day long, and you can now get breakfast burritos. So it's really, it's more than breakfast now, but you can get a burrito all day long. One of Randy's favorites. So,
absolutely.
If you're coming through at 2 o'clock in the morning, you got off a night shift, and you want some burritos or some hot cakes or something else, we got you covered. If you want to come in and you missed the 10:30 deadline or 11 on the weekends, and we serve breakfast till 11 on the weekends because some people kind of maybe sleep in, or they've got more activities maybe on a Saturday, and they need that extra half an hour. Come in at 11:30 and still get at least hot cakes and breakfast burritos. So we're there to help you out on that, and we just, once again, thank you for your patronage and letting us do these kind of things, and I guess on with the show, my man.
All right. We, of course, want to take this time to recognize all the fine folks that work for McDonald's.
Absolutely.
They're a big asset to the company and to you, to serve you and your needs, so we want to keep that in mind as well. All right. Well, we're about ready to start. We're going to talk to the kids. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll start off with our first guest on our Student Athlete Awards program. So stay with us right here on the Epifano Sports Network. Back here with the Student Athlete Awards program, our first guest is Ellie Robinette, who is the female student athlete for Miami Trace School District. I was just talking to Ellie during the break. Big prom tonight.
Yeah.
What'd you say the theme was?
Nashville night.
But you're not going as a country girl.
No, sadly not.
All right, that's okay. Each got their own different taste and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This year, of course, a little bit different with the head coach and with Ryan Day taking over. And unfortunately, due to his work commitments, he's not going to be able to get return for a second year. So you at least got a year under him. You guys improved in the win column. And, we did a lot of your games. And I was really surprised how the chemistry seemed to fall together very, very quickly. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. We were more together as a team than we were my last 3 years. There's definitely holes the last 3 years. This year, I mean, the chemistry was so much better. We were all together. It felt like we were playing for years and years together, but with it being a whole new coaching staff, I think that's what helped. It was the chemistry, was the coaches were involved. Everyone was just more involved with the sport, and wasn't much more than just them wanting to be there than not being there. So
Well, winning helps there too.
yeah, it does. Winning does help. So
I mean, you guys were in double digits, I believe.
yeah, 12 and something.
Yeah.
So 12 and 10, I think.
Yeah. Looking at your grades, tell us a little bit about that. What classes you taking, or you are taking, or currently
Yeah,
taking?
so I have 2 high school classes. I have a math and an ag, and then I take college classes, and I have an anatomy class and a cultural diversity class at one college, and I'm taking a math college advanced algebra 2 in another college, and a small communications group at another college to just get out of the way for college, because now I just have my program to go for.
Well, wait a minute. You're telling me you're going to 3 different colleges?
I have 2 colleges, 2 at one college and 2 at another college.
Oh,
That's
okay.
my high school classes.
What colleges are you going?
Southern State, I have 2 classes there, and then Central Ohio Technical College in Columbus, I have 2 classes there.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That seems to be the trend, especially the last, I'd say, 10 years or so. More and more kids are going to get those college classes out of the way earlier.
Yeah.
So what are you planning on majoring in?
Radiology technician.
Okay, now you're starting to use these terms and stuff that the big guy here is like, what?
X-ray. So I want to go for X-ray.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
You know, playing in sports and the amount of times I've injured myself and had to get X-rays and stuff, it's really just caught my attention more than anything, really.
Okay. Tell us about your parents. Who's your mom and dad?
My mom is Alex Robinette and my dad is Chris Robinette. I mean, they've been with me since I wanted to start in elementary. Like, I got asked, they didn't have enough for a 4th grade team, and I was in 3rd grade, and I got asked to come up and try out, and I did. So I've been playing since 3rd grade, and they've supported me in what I've wanted to do. I played club or AAU basketball all through 5th grade to freshman year, and then I was like, I want to try club volleyball. So I switched to club volleyball for 2 years, and then this year I was like, it's my senior year. I don't think I just want to, just have my senior year. So I didn't play any, extra sports. I just did my high school sports and I was done.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I think they were shocked on that, because I love playing sports. Like, it is my whole life, and I know I'll miss it once I'm done, but they supported me in what I wanted to do, so they're always there for me. So
What did your classwork and sports and other activities that you're involved in, because I know you're involved with FFA?
yeah, yep.
So what has this all taught you?
Everything. It's taught me literally everything I probably know now. There's been there's a lot of things. It's really just, I think the main thing is learning to work with everyone, because I know I struggle with that, but seeing it now, I can work with anyone and talk to anyone and not really have a problem with it. So
Well, I mean, here you are.
know.
You're on a website and you're talking just fine and
Yeah.
everything and doing a great job, and
Yeah.
appreciate that. Finally, of course, I've known your grandpa and grandma Robinette for years,
Yeah.
and things like that. So it's always good to see them at the ball games and stuff. But you seem like you have a really good support system from your grandparents and things.
100% I do. Yeah.
That's good. So, how many days away from graduation?
I want to say 15, maybe less.
Really?
Yeah,
You guys,
not that much.
when you graduate, you remember?
May 23rd.
Okay, so be right before Memorial Day.
Yep.
So you don't play spring sports, right?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm done.
So volleyball, basketball, and that was it.
Yep.
No, nothing college.
No.
No.
I decided not to.
Okay. All right. Well, it's your life. It's the
Yeah.
way to do it. Community activities. What are some of the things you were involved in?
Our junior fair board at courthouse. I'm a part of that. I go when our 4-H group does stuff. I go around, help with that. Basketball, we used to go to like the cemeteries or just do flags over Fayette. We used to help with that. Christmas, or like the cookies of love, Christmas cookies of love that they do during December. Help pass those out. There's really just, I try to help with whatever I can that I'm like able to do. So
Yeah, well, like I say, you're getting out into the community and you're making some connections and stuff like that, so that's good as well. Well, Kim, congratulations.
Thank
You
you.
are the Miami Trace female student athlete, and she's got to get ready for the prom tonight, but no country girl act. Oh,
Not
well,
tonight.
not tonight.
Not tonight.
Wish you the best of luck, and it's been a pleasure to watch you playing basketball this year, okay?
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back, and we'll talk to one of our coaches right after. All right, we're back with us now on our program is the assistant coach for the Miami Trace Panthers, Cody Scott. Of course, Cody, I know the big surprise, with the head coach Ryan Day having to step away from work because of work commitments. So that kind of opened things up for you and stuff like that. But looking back toward the season that you guys recently had, you improved in number-wise. I think you did a little bit better in standings and things like that. Overall, your thoughts about how the season went?
I think the season was a success. We, there were some things within that program that we had to iron out, and I think we got those pretty well set away. It was a very, very positive environment for the kids, which I think is going to go a long way to kind of establishing a foundation for the future. And I think it's unfortunate that Coach Day had to resign. Great guy, great coach, but whoever does take over, I hope can just build upon what we tried to lay down this year and take into the future and compete for that FAC title.
I know that you have some good talent there. One of them, of course, was Ellie Robinette. And tell us a little bit about her and what you've seen from the coach's side of it concerning her.
I love Ellie. She reminded me a lot of myself when I played sports. She's hyper competitive, very driven, expects the best out of herself and her teammates, and her leadership style, not always the most vocal, but she led with her play. And I think the most impressive thing that I always realized about Ellie is she was always trying to get better. She's a senior. She has been a starter for 3 years now. She could have very well just packed it in and said, I'm good enough. Like, I'm going to start on this team. But she worked throughout her senior season to even improve that, especially on the defensive side of the ball. She was always a bucket. She could always go out there and get you, 10, 15, 20 if you needed it. But the way she improved defensively, I think this year was really gained my respect. She was an awesome player, and she'll be greatly missed, but she's going to do great things in whatever she does after high school.
When you look at the program, I know that you kind of headed up the reserve program and stuff. How did you and Ryan kind of work the connection together? Because let's be honest, there's going to be times during the reserve games that some kids might help or need to be helped on the varsity. How did you guys manage all that?
So Coach Day gave me a ton of freedom with the JV team, and we always had a very open line of communication. Like, if I needed help, if I needed a set for a certain situation, he would help me draw one up. And there were some kids that we had to hold back, especially towards the end of the season, because they were getting varsity minutes.
Right.
And he was always very open with me about that, like before the games, during practices that week. And if I truly needed, somebody on the floor to win a game, he would let me have them and maybe sacrifice a quarter of them playing varsity. So he was, very respectful in that manner, which meant a lot to me because this was my first year coaching girls basketball. So the fact that he, saw me as a peer and not necessarily, this kid that I threw a bone to getting on the coaching staff, it really meant a lot to me, and I appreciate what he did to help me and help our JV girls throughout the year.
Just for clarification real quickly, a girl that plays maybe on both teams, How many quarters, or to do that, is it on base minutes, or how that? I think you try to go both ways.
You get 6 quarters,
Okay.
so you can play 3 and 3, 4 and 2. That's how we had to limit it. So if there was 3 girls that I typically had to hold out of a quarter in JV, so they could get 3 on the varsity side too. And that was really towards the second half of the season. We had some injuries, and these young ladies stepped up big time when we needed them on the varsity side.
That's where you got to kind of make sure you're keeping track of the time and all that stuff as well.
It was usually beginning of the game. You're sitting first quarter, you're sitting second quarter, you're sitting third quarter.
Okay.
And that way I could have full force in the fourth to either build upon a lead or mount a comeback if we needed to.
All right. Well, we appreciate you coming out this morning, Cody, talking to us a little bit about Ellie and your ventures there. As far as basketball is concerned, wish you guys the best of luck and in your future seasons, okay?
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll have our next guest right after this here on the Epifano Sports Network. All right, back here on the Epifano Sports Network and the Student Athlete Awards program. We go to school number 2 now, and back-to-back wrestlers. Eve Matt's with us right now, senior.
Yep.
How did you do at state the last couple of years?
Last year I didn't wrestle at state because I had shoulder surgery and I was out for the season. This year I got second.
Okay. I thought I saw, how'd you do like your freshman, sophomore year?
My sophomore year I won, and then in the off season I tore my labrum and my rotator cuff, so couldn't wrestle my junior season.
That had to hurt.
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
Not really sure. It was just like overworking, they said, so it tore itself over time.
That's even gross just to think about it. Sorry about that. But it is. I mean, to think about that damage and stuff.
Sorry.
See, he never knows what I'm going to say. I
That's
just.
what we love. That's why he's the character.
I just.
He can say whatever he wants.
Yeah, I just go off the air here. I see where you're going to college too.
Yes.
You're taking college courses, which seems to be the theme of the day here. Tell us a little bit about where you're going and where you're studying.
So right now I'm taking classes at Clark State for criminal justice, and I'm going to have my associate's degree in a couple weeks, and then I'm going to go to Tiffin University and get a master's in criminal behavior and then bachelor's in forensic psychology.
Okay, so for guys like me, kind of explain what would that help you do?
My end goal is to work in the FBI and do things with like psychological profiling and stuff like that.
Oh, like what, CSI or whatever it's called? Or,
Yeah,
okay. Now I'm starting to go, okay, now it's figured a little bit like that. What kind of drew your attention to that?
I always wanted to work in like the law enforcement field growing up, and then I started taking classes at Clark State, and I realized like what was really more interesting to me was like the psychological component, not just like on the ground like police work.
Do you ever practice, and your dad's coaching you and stuff like that, do you ever say, hey, you're crazy?
I've thought about it.
What was it like having your dad coaching you?
It's nice, but
He can't hear you, so go ahead,
there are pros and cons for sure, because you can't really do anything without people thinking like, oh, you just get special treatment because you're the coach's daughter. But it's also nice to have him around like that. Like, I can go up to him during a water break and be like, hey, what are we having for dinner tonight? Don't have to wait until afterwards to figure that out.
That's pretty good. Now, I understand you also, I noticed that you work at McDonald's.
I do.
Tell us a little bit about those adventures.
I've worked here since my freshman year of high school. I actually am going to have my last week this coming week. But it hasn't been bad, I can say. Nick's a little mean to me sometimes.
So you work in this location?
I do.
Oh, okay. I thought you worked at the one in Jamestown.
No,
Okay.
I've worked there one time.
Okay, so you work here at the Jeffersonville
Yes.
location. What have you learned from working experiences? Besides Epifano, sometimes gets on
Yeah.
your nerves.
I've learned to be patient with people, you know. They're just trying to get food. They're a little frustrated. They might be rude to me, but nobody's doing it intentionally.
Right.
Got to give everybody some grace.
Okay, so customer service is
Yes.
what? Oh, I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Tell us a little bit about, you already talked about you taking criminal classes and stuff like that. What are some of the other activities that you're involved in at school?
I really just focus on wrestling and like school right now, but throughout the years I've been in a couple different clubs. I was in the Green Club and the Soda Club, which is like drug and alcohol prevention.
Oh,
I
okay.
might, like, talk to the middle school classes and stuff like that.
Okay, good. Well, to be honest with you, you're talking about psychology and stuff like that. Those are kind of things that can always lay good background for you down the road. So that's good. Well, Eve, congratulations. You're the Greenview female student athlete. Wish you the best of luck in school. And hopefully, you won't ever have to go up against me and Nick because we're crazy or something and did something wrong, okay?
All of
Well, best of luck, okay?
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back, and we're going to talk to Kylan Hendricks, and then we'll talk to the coach. So stay with us right here on the Epifano Sports Network. With us now is Kylan, right? Kyan Hendricks. He's the Greenview senior student athlete. Other the wrestlers. You're another young man that is taking some extra courses in high school, right?
I attend the Greene County Career Center,
Okay.
so I'm there for welding, but
Really? Okay.
I'm on a work placement, so I only go to school every 2 weeks, and then I'm at work the other 2 weeks.
Really? Okay. Education's changed so much and stuff like that. So you're actually working with a welding company for 2 weeks out of the month?
Well, I work at like a concrete place, but I do weld there,
Oh, okay.
so I do a little bit of everything.
What drew your interest to try something like that?
Welding or
Yeah, well, both.
I just think it looks cool and like it's fun to do it.
Did you have background or something from somebody in the family that did that kind of work, or you just something that drew your interest?
Just drew my interest.
Okay. Wrestling-wise, what kind of season did you have?
Pretty good. It was the first year I ever made it to state.
Okay. I see you were 47-8, which is pretty good. How did you end up finishing?
I got 5th at state this year.
Really? Okay. That's great. Greenview always seems to have a strong wrestling program, both the girls and the boys and things like that. What do you feel that you guys has made you so successful?
We always show up to practice. We all work hard together.
How many kids usually are wrestling on the teams? Do you have an idea?
Maybe like 25 or more. Our team is pretty good this year.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I think you end up, in fact, the girls, I think you finished top 4, top 5, something like that. So you've had a great success. Involved in any community activities?
No.
Okay. What do you do as far as your free time?
I ride wheelies on Harleys.
That sounds like a welder, doesn't it? Yeah. Taking care of that outside life and things like that. All right. Obviously, you've already mentioned welding is one of the things that you'd like to, you've already started to, I assume that's what you want to continue to keep doing, or are you looking at another field?
No, I feel like I'll still stay welding and working where I work. I don't plan to attend college after this.
Oh, okay. All right, good.
Welding's a great career.
Well, it is a great career.
Do you plan on traveling across the country doing it like some of the folks do, or
No,
around here?
just around here.
Okay. Yeah, because I know some people that they travel around to different jobs and states and stuff like that. And like you say, it does pay very well if you can get into it, so that's good. What has going through a wrestling, what has that taught you?
The harder you work, the better you'll be, and that hard work pays off.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's a good way to end the interview, so appreciate that. So Kai, congratulations. Again, you're the male student athlete for Greenview High School. Wish you the best in your endeavors in the workforce. You never know. You know, Mr. Epifano may need a welding job one of these days. He can put you to work or something. He's got a lot of stuff that needs welding, so you may be talking to him. Okay. All right. We'll take a break. We'll talk to the coach right after this. Back here now, we're talking to a gentleman that has been with us several times. Several of your students have won Student Athlete Award winners, and I think it's the first time it's both male and female, if I remember right.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Mark Matt's with us right now, the head wrestling coach. You try to get the other coach to, but he don't want to do it, so.
Yeah.
He said, that's why you're the head man. You do all the talking.
He's fantastic, and we all have different things that, sometimes the public speaking, there are folks that are like, yeah, no, and Coach Hendricks is wonderful. He's great on the mat, does great things with the young people, and a big part of why we have the success we have. But he also is like, yeah, he does not enjoy putting himself out there in front of
He does his talking to the kids.
Yes.
Okay. Looking at your program, we're familiar with, especially at Courthouse here. Coach Gibbs has really started to build that program up over the couple of years. And he's told me the program was built upon what you guys did at Greenview to start off with. He saw what success you guys have had, the way you train and things like that, which is definitely a compliment that you guys, everybody's trying to compare it to your school system and your program. What was it, or what is it about your program that has other girls wrestling programs especially getting interested now and becoming part of this explosion on the state, especially in the state of Ohio?
Right. That's a great question. That's trying to find a way to get kids involved is a real challenge. Girls wrestling in particular has just been exploding since OHSAA made it a recognized sport a few years ago. Coach Gibbs at Courthouse has done an absolutely great job of embracing girls wrestling, and his daughter Lyndon had a tremendous high school career and a lot of success. But a big part of it has been, it's been a male-dominated sport for so long, and male coaches that have been involved in the sport for the entirety of their lives coming on board and seeing the value of it and embracing it has made a huge difference. And so you see the programs that are really starting to have success. It's the changing of the mindset for a lot of people that, hey, we can really dive in and we can invest in these young ladies and they can have a lot of success in this path. And so we've been investing in it, obviously, for 6, 7, 8 years now, really, and trying to get girls involved and meeting them wherever they are, and it's a big part of the success.
The girls program, especially for you guys, have been successful. You've had a couple of your young ladies get honored over the years, have done very well at the state and stuff like that. Is there a common theme there with all the girls and why they have been able to be successful?
The common theme would be that is with the explosion of it, there are a lot of new girls coming into the sport, but for us, a few years ago, it was Ellie Harlow, who won a state championship. Carly Harlow was a state runner-up. They had been wrestling with boys since they were 5 years old.
Okay.
And the big challenge was that once you get to high school, there was nothing for girls, so they would just become statisticians or they would go off and do other stuff. Part of us having had success is we live in a small town, and so girls like the Harlows, Lily Hendricks, who's a 2-time state runner-up now, she's been wrestling since she was 4 or 5 years old. Gwen and Eve, my daughters, started wrestling 6th grade time frame, so they had several years experience before they got up to the high school. And we have a pretty similar mindset, so they know starting at a youngish age, these are the things we want to work on and get better at. And so having a similar message that the young people are getting, a consistent message all the way up, and them feeling like they're included all the way up makes a big difference. And
have you guys been able to get any kind of like a youth program going on?
we have a really good Jamestown Youth Wrestling, has good numbers every single year, and there have been a growing number of girls to be a part of that, and they get to, at the young ages, having girls wrestle boys isn't a big deal. It's more once puberty hits that it becomes much more of a challenge to have girls and boys wrestling each other. But girls go wrestle against boys largely in the youth program, and then they do have a couple of girls only tournaments that they go to where they can see what it's like to just wrestle other girls, and that is that feeder system that you need to be able to have sustained long-term success.
I know that we've heard always that Ohio seemed to have been behind the time a little bit as far as women's wrestling. Is that true? Or are they quickly caught up, or what?
The state was slow to recognize girls wrestling in Ohio. We were one of the later states to do so. There's still states that have not, but from a ability standpoint, Ohio girls wrestling has been top 5 in the country for most of the last decade. Even
really?
As it's, yes.
Okay.
Like, we are producing girls that are performing at a very high level beyond high school.
Wow. Okay, that's great. I know you nominated 3 young ladies, and any one of the 3, really, in all honesty, could have probably, when we submitted to the judges, they looked at the nominations and stuff like that. Eve got picked, and so let's talk about her first. Give us your insight on her.
She started 6th grade wrestling. She is a perfectionist, a super hard worker. That's her personality type, and wrestling is absolutely fantastic. 3-time state placer, 2-time state finalist, 1-time state champion. But she's just as good academically. She was tied for number 1 in her class at the end of freshman year, and then went to an entirely college schedule from that point on. Has not set foot in the high school really since freshman year.
Wow.
She's graduating with her associate's degree from Clark State the week before she gets her high school diploma. She's got a good setup and good things in place to head off to college, where she's going to wrestle and pursue her degree. She's hoping to be able to get her bachelor's in 2 years, start her master's, and be able to finish that in 4 years of college. It's like, she extraordinarily driven and has had an amazing amount of success on and off the mat.
She's done a great job for us too.
And
Through all these years, she's been with us a long time. And I guess this is what we, right here is why we do what we do, right? 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, look at a young lady like this, all the accomplishments she's done, all the things that she's doing, and she doesn't boast about it. You never know. And look at what she's doing. She's just a great young lady. Just a great young lady.
Thank you.
You should be proud of her.
Thank you. She wanted to start working immediately. She and Sister Gwen got applications here at McDonald's before they were 15. We're told they had to be 15 to start. So filled everything out, turned it in, and literally the day after their 15th birthday, they both started here and have been here for 3.5 years now.
Wow.
I forgot yet. You forget they're both there.
That's great. Let's talk about Kai a little bit.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about him.
Kyan, fantastic, comes from Hendricks family, which is just like, they love wrestling. They will do what it takes to help all of their kids and other kids be successful. He started wrestling when he was old enough to walk, basically. All of his older brothers competed at very high levels. Oldest brother, Devin, who was a winner here and acknowledged, was a 3-time state placer and just was an NCAA qualifier. It was first time we had a Division I national qualifier.
Really?
Collegiate level this past year was Devin Hendricks. Brother Tegan Hendricks is at Ohio Northern and super smart and engineer.
I remember Tegan,
And he state qualifier here. He was just a 2-time D3 national qualifier. So wrestling in the biggest tournament possible at the collegiate level for D3, Ohio Northern. Ashton is at King University, and he's had some incredible wins. He's coming off of surgery. He was a state runner-up and recognized and acknowledged by you guys a couple years ago. And Kyan, I mean, he grew up seeing all of that. He's been immersed in it, and he's his own person where, man, he's had come up short freshman year and sophomore year and junior year, and it was senior year now, and it was like he was more locked in than I've ever seen him. He put in more effort than I have ever seen him put into it, and he was willing to make the sacrifices he needed to. That he was a 4 seed coming out of districts, which is the, like, a lot of times those guys where they get a chance to go to state, but it's going to be a quick day for him. And he made podium. It's like he took 5th place. I was sitting next to a guy at state. I went to sit down, and he looked up Kai's information. He's like, we have a kid that took 4th at their district that's going to place. Like, we had an incredibly tough district. We have really great wrestling in this part of the state. And, like, he just mentally was resolved that this is going to happen. I'm going to do this. And he made it happen. Like, nothing but great things to say about his work ethic and his attitude and how he, just manifested essentially senior year, I am going to do this. And Coach Hendricks and I have talked about it, and I'm so happy for Kyan and for the family because, like, every one of their kids has been a state qualifier. Like, they have 5 children, every single one of them state qualifier.
Wow.
And you don't understand how incredibly hard that is. Like, there was one coach I talked to this year, he was crying because he's been coaching 35 years and he just got his first state qualifier. He had, after 35 years of coaching, for the first time he got one kid to make it to go to the state tournament. And he was like, I get to go to Columbus. I get to go to Schottenstein Center. And he is genuinely emotional about it, and I'm excited for him. But you see someone like that that's put their whole life into it and finally getting to see some success. And then you have the Hendricks family, you have Kyan and, like, that group, that they've all accomplished that. You don't really have an appreciation for how rare and special that is unless you're in that bubble to know, man, that kind of stuff doesn't just happen by accident. That is pretty rare and unique.
Right. That's, wow. How do you respond to that, Nick? That's phenomenal.
I mean,
that's unbelievable.
I went to New Lexington High School, and like my junior year or something like that, they started a wrestling program. And that's when the Fondells moved into the area. Okay, and they were a similar kind of family where they all wrestled and all that. Because, no one around our area really wrestled at the time. and they were all pretty successful. Kind of like what you're talking about. But yeah,
Well, then of course Ben's the coach. I mean Trace.
So when you get these families that are, like you said, they just grow up and it's part of their life.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm telling you what. I mean, they're hard to beat.
Yeah.
I mean, they live it. Like you said, they live it. I mean,
Yeah.
their whole family, and it's pretty amazing. It was amazing for us to see it. They're still having success now, man, and as they go down through.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty incredible, and it seems like wrestling is one of the only sports where you really see it that connected. At least from what I've seen, being a bystander. I was terrible at wrestling. Got in shape though for football. I'll tell you
absolutely.
what, wrestling gets you in shape more than anything I've ever
I
seen.
bet. I bet.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now with the season coming to a close and stuff, what do you guys work on during the off season?
So off season, the first couple months really, or at least the first month, is give everybody a mental and physical break, because that winter season, that wrestling season, is the longest grind, and it's such a physical toll that it takes on the body, as far as shoulders and knees. You have people just pulling on you in ways that the body's not supposed to be pulled on, and so if you're doing it right, part of that process is letting everything heal, mentally refresh, mentally let yourself get to a place where you can let go of last season and start new season fresh. So we're still kind of at that point where a big bulk of the team should be doing something else and not even thinking about wrestling. As we move into summer, we start seeing more kids start showing up to open mat. Just get on the mat a little bit to keep a little bit crisp, keep your fundamentals, those things. We have some kids that are wrestling freestyle and Greco, the Olympic styles, and we'll see if any of them go on toward Fargo, the national championship in July, or not. And then August is when school starts back up. More kids will start really rolling in after the summer off. Hopefully they're, doing a little bit of strength and movement before August, but August is when we'll start getting a dozen, 15, 20 kids to start rolling into open mats. And that'll pick up to about October, and then
Season's on again.
yeah, then November rolls around and there you are. Like, the one thing I would really like to say is, like, I did nominate all three. We had more than 3 girls on the team. We had 6 girls that made it to the end of the season, and all 6 of them worked hard. And again, it's so unbelievably challenging to have success. And what our 3 girls that made it to state accomplished, all 3 were sectional champions. All 3 were district champions. 2 of them, Eve and Lily Hendricks, ended up as state runners-up, and Gwen ended up in 6th place. It's like, with those 3 girls and how they performed, we were the 3rd-ranked state. We were the 3rd-ranked team in the state, only losing to team much bigger. The teams that beat us at the state tournament were Olentangy Orange and Marysville, that are D1 programs with thousands of kids roaming the halls. We have 350 kids roaming the halls. Between Gwen, Eve, and Lily, they were 130 and 11. Like, think about that. Like, whoever your favorite sports team is, whoever that is, whether it's, the Patriots when they were really cruising, whatever. Do you know of any team that put together over a stretch of years 130 wins to 11 losses, including, the Super Bowl, essentially, the state tournament? And those losses, part of the 11 losses includes the state tournament. That's how special they were as a group. And like, having them in the room just beating on each other, making each other better is huge. And when you have kids like that, like Kyan, that really helps to elevate the room. When you have people that are performing at a high level, it raises everybody else. They don't have a choice, And so we've been very blessed in that regard.
Well, it's always been a pleasure. Always a pleasure to talk to you. It seems like we do at least one winner a year, or every other year, whatever. And you speak so well of your young people, but I think it comes back again to the coaching and what you're teaching the kids. And you're not just teaching them wrestling, you're teaching them about life and things like that. And they've got to have a good skill as far as working and stuff like that. And that's why they're successful as well. So we appreciate you coming out again, and congratulations on getting 2 nominations this year. And who knows, might do it again next year. Let's have to wait and see what the judges have to say. All right. So once again, we've been talking with Mark Matt, the head wrestling coach from Greenview. We got one more guest coming up. Stay with us right here on the Epifano Sports Network. All right, we're back here. Our final guest today on the Student Athlete Awards program is Cole Whiteside. Cole is the male winner from Miami Trade School. Bowling team.
Yep.
I'll tell you, you just said all kinds of things this year. I see where you were ranked, what was it, 5th or 6th in the Miami Valley as far as scores for juniors. You're averaging almost 4 points GPA. You're involved in FFA.
Yep.
What else do you do?
I also do like 4-H stuff, like junior fair board, and also 4-H camp counselor. I just like to help out in the community in some way, just like being there to help set up or just do whatever.
When you look at bowling, a lot of people will say, ain't much of a sport and stuff, but I don't think people realize, especially with, you have to individually do your thing, but you also have to kind of fit in with a team as well, right? Tell us a little bit of how you have worked that.
All right. So pretty much like it's just all a mental game. Like you have to be there for yourself, but also as a team, you have to be there for each other. Like if someone would have a bad shot, you'd have to be there to support them, tell them to get the spare and move on. You can't think about it and let you affect the rest of your game. Because you have to bowl 2 games after all. So you just got to focus on one, get to the next.
For folks that maybe don't understand it, basically high school, you guys bowl 2 10-frame games, right? And then you go and play what they call Baker games. I've talked about that on our sports reporting and stuff like that. Tell us a little bit, what's a Baker?
I'm not sure how the name came up, but like you just get a group of 5 people, like your best bowlers. You start off with someone that can lead it out good, put some fillers in between, and then you put your anchor at the end. That person should be able to complete the 10th and get the best like score out of all.
And you bowl twice, right?
Well, yeah, 2 Bakers.
Yeah, 2 Bakers. But you, as a bowler, let's say you're in the 5th frame, you would bowl again on the 10th frame. So it's a little bit different. I wouldn't say pressure's a little bit less, but still, it could be like, oh man, I really got to come up with a strike or something here to help the team out.
Yeah, it gets like in the high pressure situation. If you're facing someone good, you just gotta have a strong mindset, or else if you fall apart at the end, it's going to be bad news for your team.
Okay, you made the league team, right?
Yes, I got 5th in the league.
5th in the league, okay. And you're just a junior. So I guess my question is, now that you've got your junior season almost completed, what things do you want to try to work on individually for yourself for your senior year?
I just want to keep on like improving in my average. Like some colleges, they don't really care about like those high scoring games. They want to get like someone that can be consistently like overall in like every single game. So I just want to stay more mentally locked in the game in a way I can just keep on bowling consistent.
I look at here, you had a 259 as a high game. 300's perfect, right? And you had a series a little over 500. And so I would assume that's 2 games at 600. I did go to school long time ago. But so those are pretty impressive numbers and stuff like that. How much time do you actually get to sit and think about your game as it's going on?
Like, we really don't really like sit down or anything like that. We stand most of the time, but for myself, I just stand back, just think of what I did wrong, and then I just reset from there and just move on to the next shot. I don't let it affect me at all. I just do my own thing.
Of course, your head coach is Mr. Amore, the younger version, Andrew.
Yeah.
You had Grandpa there for many, many years, leading you guys, and think you guys we went to the state last year.
Yeah.
Courthouse went this year. Trace went last year. You was part of that team, right?
Yep.
What was that experience like?
It was definitely a lot of pressure, for sure. I mean, as first time bowling, I mean, I couldn't really think of much. I just had so much thoughts. I just left it out, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to stay mentally locked in the moment and just do your best. I mean, yes, I placed 12th in the state that year, but I had a lot of stuff that was going through my head. I just didn't let it affect me, though.
Has that helped teach you to be a better athlete, but also a better student, especially with your grade classes and stuff?
Yes, it does. Like, I mean, yes, you would like maybe mess up, but you just have to like try to do your best next time. You can't let that affect you and just bring you down.
I know that your mom and dad support you and your sister's a bowler now and stuff like that. And so she got her driver's license, but you got yourself another new car.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not new, but you at least got your first car. What's that going to feel like now that you got your own car? Mom and dad don't have to haul you around all the time.
Yeah, it feels good. I'm definitely going to have to get my driver's license soon, but yeah, I'll get it eventually.
Oh, you won't even have your license yet?
No, I still have a permit.
Oh, okay. All right, so mom and dad have not done hauling you around yet?
Maybe not, but
okay.
I'll get it during the summertime probably.
Okay, that's good. All right. Well, I'll give you a little more freedom and stuff like that, so that's good as well. All right. Hey, it's been a pleasure to have you with us, Cole. Congratulations on the male student athlete from Miami Trace. Wish you the best of luck. We'll probably catch you guys again bowling again next year when we do some on WCHC, and wish you the best of luck in your off season, okay?
Thank you.
All right, we'll talk to his coach, Andrew Moore, right after this here on the Epifano Sports Network. All right, back here is our final guest for the first program. Andrew Moore is with us right now. He's the head bowling coach for the boys for Miami Trace. Had some big shoes to fill.
Oh, yeah, I did. I had to step in for Grandpa.
Does he still kind of give you some advice every once in a while, or does he say, nah, it's your team now, I'm walking away?
He's more hands-off with it now, but if there's anything I ever really needed to ask him a question, he'd be more willing to help out.
When you look at transitioning from being a player all these years now to be a coach and things like that, what are some of the things you're trying to remind yourself of that I can do this or I can't do that, things like that?
For me, the biggest thing is going from the transition from college bowling to high school bowling. It's a little different of an atmosphere, a level. I feel like college you can be more cutthroat. High school you got to kind of ease it a little bit more. If that makes sense.
Okay, so you were on the college bowling team and stuff like that. Where'd you end up going to school again?
Muskegon University.
Muskegon, that's right. Okay, I forgot. When you bowled for Muskegon, and you're talking about kind of more cutthroat and stuff like that, obviously the pressure is much more than maybe the high school.
Yeah.
You know, Cole's talking about, you got to focus more and stuff like that. Are you telling me it's maybe a little bit harder with the college?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, college is a lot harder with the pressure and the competition level.
Why?
I think it's because so high school you're only competing with people against your state and area. College, it's literally everybody in the country.
So how'd you end up doing in college?
College?
Yeah.
Pretty good. My team, my junior year, we won the collegiate club championship, national championship in that.
Really?
Yeah, and then my senior year, we actually qualified for the USBC's intercollegiate team championships, which is like the basically the quote unquote like D1 of bowling, men's bowling. So it's like literally the best teams in the country.
Now, I know that you probably are familiar with Cole. You've probably seen the White Sides out there at your grandpa's place, or your dad's place now, I should say, your dad and mom's place, all these years, the Yellow Lanes. When you got to take Cole on as one of your students and athletes, what were some of the things that you kind of like, okay, he's got the makings here.
Yeah, just the way he throws the ball, it's great. And also, too, like the attitude he has. He's one of the guys I really leaned on to have that leadership within the team. Because, you know, in teams, the coaches can lead all they want, but unless they have the leadership from the players that kind of step up and get in there, it goes much further than what a coach can do, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's kind of building that network underneath the foundation of leadership from the player level.
And it's probably, maybe it's not. Would you get frustrated sometimes as a coach, like, oh man, if I just get out there and show these kids how I can do it and stuff like that, I'd be all right.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. I kind of feel that way a little bit sometimes. Yeah.
Well, you're still young and stuff like that, so you've got hopefully a long career you can use coaching and stuff like that, okay?
Yeah.
Well, we'll have Anthony back out because we're going to do Star of the Game, and you had, I think, Cole, I think, was your Star of the Game. We'll have you guys out one more time in a couple of weeks when we do the show and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So we'll talk to you a little bit more, but just wanted to get you on there a little bit and talk about Cole. And again, congratulations for a good season. You guys finished, what, second?
I think we finished third.
Third in the league? Okay, that's right. Hillsboro, Courthouse, and then you guys. So this is a tough league. I don't care what everybody says. I mean, you look at the bowling stuff like that, some scores are unbelievable. And you've got some really outstanding athletes in the programs.
And also, I know Hillsboro made the state in their division, and then Courthouse made the state in their respective division, too.
So that creates more of excitement.
It really does, yeah.
More of a challenge for you guys for next year.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Andrew, thanks for joining us. Appreciate that. And with that, going to wrap it up. If that's all right with you? All right, we're going to wrap it up. We appreciate all those that have shown up today for the Student Athlete Awards program, and also the athletes, and also the students. We're going to take a break, probably 15, 20 minutes or so. When we come back, we're going to talk to some representatives from Washington Courthouse and Fayette Christian School on show number 2. So stay with us here on the Epifano Sports Network. I'm Randy Young. We'll be back in a little bit.